Mankind has always had an appetite to justify what they do not comprehend or cannot explain. That is why theories are created to rationalize a topic and explain a phenomenon.
But few have heard of Santa's revenge.
Climate change in itself is a long-standing debate. In 2012, 66% of Americans believed that the Earth was warming, while 20% thought it was cooling.
Santa's revenge suggests that warming is actually causing cooling. Could that explain the controversy about the Earth's present state and lead human understanding to action?
Santa's revenge is a relatively new theory whereby Arctic winds escaping the polar vortex would be responsible for cooling and warming in the mid-latitudes.
Arctic winds became of interest after a major collapse of sea ice in 2007, when it became very evident the impact global warming was having.
The reason why jet streams are changing is because of Arctic heating. The Arctic will be free of sea ice in the first half of the 21st century. This is due to global warming, which is caused by vehicle emissions, burning of fossil fuels, and more.
The Arctic is reported to be warming twice as fast as the other areas of the world, causing a direct impact on the amount of ice. This rapid change is already affecting the fauna and flora that inhabit the Arctic.
The melting of ice is happening also because clouds are now acting as insulators to keep in the warmth. More clouds are forming now that the ice is melting and evaporating.
As the Arctic is positioned to receive a few months of sunlight, clouds prevent heat in the Arctic from escaping. People may be wondering why melting ice has an effect on where the wind blows. Melting ice is an indicator that global warming does exist.
It usually happens with low Arctic temperatures and warmer mid-latitude temperatures is known as the polar vortex. Because such different wind gradients exist, the cold winds would be trapped in the Arctic and warmer ones would stay on the exterior, like a sharp barrier between the warm and cold.
What is occurring as temperatures up north are increasing is that the wind gradient difference is becoming less defined. This is causing Arctic winds to escape and reach lower territory.
Responsible for the severe winters Canadians have been experiencing. Cold winds are reaching land and being trapped by the warmer winds. There is still a significant difference in wind gradient, so warm winds are locking in cold winds over Canada. This results in longer, harsher winters.
But if the winds are causing colder weather, how could they be responsible for droughts in places like California? Actually, the opposite of what is happening to Canada is happening to California. Warm winds are being trapped by the colder ones around them, causing California to experience much hotter and drying seasons, which lead to droughts.
And scientists predict that the winds will only reach further down as time goes by.
The presence of global warming will continue to warm the entire globe in varying intensities.
This will cause drastic temperature increases in the Arctic,
which will further melt the
evaporation of ice and water will form more clouds,
which all comes back to heat being trapped in the Arctic, with a constant pressure of greenhouse gases.
In Canada, people are experiencing clear, consistent changes in the weather. In Toronto, Ontario, in 2013, the coldest recorded date was January 23rd with a low temperature of negative 21 degrees Celsius before wind chill. The average temperature in the past was of negative 9 degrees Celsius.
In the near future, scientists can predict that the feedback loop of Arctic warming will continue and drag Arctic winds further down into the mid-latitudes, causing longer, more severe weather, cold and warm.
What will happen when all of the Arctic ice melts? Predicted to occur as soon as a few decades. With no more cold winds to bring down, it is very plausible that the Earth would experience the comic-inspired global warming, whereby land masses would live through extreme warmth and countless natural disasters.
But how can one pinpoint when or if? Though the ice lost is gone, there are simple things people can do to lower greenhouse gas, such as recycling, bicycling to work, and not overusing energy. Education is the major factor in taking action.
Will people act even if they do know? Let's put it into a scenario. You, a bystander, witnesses a young, unattended child walk into a street.
5 to 1 people surveyed reported that they would choose Earth is your child. So why, though evidence at the time may be minimal in sense of time to prove that Santa's revenge is not occurring, there are no counter theories at the moment. Could it be that Arctic winds brought over our camouflaging global warming that is causing it?
Guess Santa found a new substitute to putting coal into naughty children's stockings.